2024 and 2025 have been a brutal year. And we've seen that the job numbers were brutal. I've had people fighting in the comments with saying that we're in a great economy, we're good. And we're starting to see that 911,000 jobs have not been created as they thought they were. And so this is the article. The US has added 911,000 fewer jobs than first estimated in 2024, 2025. And for these people that are saying you voted for this, well, it was in 2024 also, so you can't bring that argument up, right? And in this video, we're going to kind of go over why and why you need to care and what you can do about it. And so let's first go over why I personally think that there has been less job creation. So when you're looking at this listing that I have pulled up, it is in Las Vegas and it is $2.225 million. And you can take any investment or any type of like real estate deal that's kind of looking like this. And it has a 5.46 percent cap rate. And so if you have money and you're sitting on, let's say, $1 or $2 million, what in today's world isn't an absorbent amount of money anymore, and you're like, you know what, let me go invest it. You have two options basically. You can buy one of these properties that I just shown on the screen, or you can put it into a CD. And now we're going to look at what the difference actually is. So if you put that in that apartment building, you're going to get a cap rate of 5.46%, what gives you a net operating income of $122,000. And if you have been a landlord or you know landlords, it's not as hands off as people might say, because there's going to be conversations about not paying, of all kinds of stuff. The water heater's out, everything else. So it is not just let me just do let me just give you the turnkey investment and you never have to worry about it. No, because then you got to take another 10% off and everything else. And this was probably not in the data. And so now let's say you have that money and let me invest into a CD. So now you're going to make $106,000 and not have to touch anything. You don't have to pick up calls. You don't really have to worry about rentals. You don't really have to worry about nothing. And you basically just sit there and let the money pile up in your account and you're gonna be good. You don't have to wake up in the morning. You don't have to meet tenants. You don't have to screen tenants. You don't have to hear people make excuses. No, none of that. You just wake up, collect your money, and kind of be done. And whenever I make content, and some of you guys are probably newer here, and whenever I do content, whenever I say stuff like this is how it's going, you need somebody to take a chance on you. You need somebody to just give you a job. 911,000 fewer jobs. And yeah, you just got to have somebody to give you an opportunity. That's why I keep telling you guys, you gotta present yourself right. You gotta be nice, friendly. But we're seeing comments like this. Good call. Mostly what he does is capitalize on envy. He has never done videos showing people who made smart decisions, got the right training, and are making six figures as young people with no debt. So it's hard to find people that want to jump on a podcast or that want to jump and say, you know, this is what I'm doing. This is how much money I have. That's kind of private, a conversation. And just if I interview him and I ask for records, that's all doctored. You see people, celebrities, doctor their accounts, and you've seen rappers say, "Oh, I did a Spotify account," and then all of a sudden comes out that they didn't sell that much and that they've doctored numbers, that they photoshopped a whole bunch of stuff. But what you need to do is have somebody take a chance on you. And so if you have not, please like and subscribe. And that would really help out my channel. So let's look at what Simon Sinek has to say about all this.
There's not a single person in this room, total of zero, that has achieved what they've achieved, accomplished what they've accomplished, and arrived where they're arrived by themselves.
Right.
Zero.
Yeah.
Every single one of us, somebody took a bet on us, somebody gave us an opportunity, somebody put us in the position that we could completely screw it up, and maybe we did, and then they said, try again. And I think for anybody to have anything other than gratitude and humility for anything that they've accomplished, I would be very suspicious of those. I guarantee there's a lot of fear and insecurity underlying which at some point is gonna backfire. Humility is everything in leadership.
So as he's talking about it, everybody had to have gotten a chance. And this is why I'm telling you guys, read some books, do better. And when I see content this envy, envy of what? What am I trying to tell you that I'm that that you should be envy of me about? My Jeep, anybody can go out and buy a Jeep now. There's so much on sale. That's what I got mine. They're discounting them so much. I got a 2024 because they were giving so much money off that they're like, we can't park them on the road because the dealership's overfilling them. So they discounted it so much. So I was like, okay, a Jeep might be nice. And that's why I got a Jeep. I'm not driving a Ferrari. I'm not driving a Lambo. So what am I envying you guys about? Because whenever I say stuff and I'm like, you know what? I'm rooting for you. And I'm doing all kinds of stuff with some of the comments. I can't even show you some of my real estate stuff that I'm doing because I'm worried that some of you guys are going to reach out to the city and then complain and have code enforcement and everything else. Not that I'm doing something wrong, but when you're in the business world, you don't need more eyeballs on you and all kinds of stuff because this would happen to Ali. So when Ali started off her journey of making content, she said how I got ahead in my first job is I came early and I stayed late. And all of a sudden that video went viral. And I don't know how you can interpret this wrong, but her company got involved with legal. Somebody claimed that they were an employee of her, something like it, and said that Ali's making us come early and stay late unpaid. And at that time, she didn't even have a team. So legal got involved, and it was a whole debacle with HR and legal and everything else. And so people do not always want the best for you. And so what I'm doing with my content is I'm trying to give back. I'm not even trying to tell you so. I'm not even trying to sell you something. I just have ads in my video, and that is even automated. So I don't even pick the ads or anything else. I just click monetization on because the camera costs money, software costs money. And I'm like, you know what? This is just going to be it. You can buy YouTube Premium, and then you don't have any ads. And I don't pick the ads that you see. I don't pick any kind of stuff like that. I've not till this day had a channel sponsor. I made, I think, like 400 videos. So I'm not even trying to sell you something. But people are like, oh, envy, 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 and everything like that. And this is the mindset you got to start being in. You got to start being in the mindset of like being graceful, of what Simon Sinek said. You'll make it way further in life than being envious of other people because envy is just going to eat you up alive. And when I see stuff like that, I always think about it. How do I leverage my network? How do I leverage my next position? How do I become that project manager that I always wanted to be? How do I become a six-figure earner? How do I become a homeowner? How do I become whatever else I want it to be? And this is to you where I want to go. Do I want to be a homeowner? And there's so many people doing shady stuff online that are driving around in nice cars saying, you should buy Section 8 housing, you should do all this other stuff. And they make all the money. And all of a sudden, you're like, I'm broke because I invested into the wrong thing. And when I tell you, you got to get your mindset right, you got to get your numbers right, you got to figure out a plan for yourself. And my thing that I'm advocating for is spend $20 on an AI tool. That's it. That's what I'm keep selling you guys. Spend $20 on Google Gemini, on GPT, so you can actually learn about AI so you're not going to be left behind. And yeah, I'm guilty of you trying to get, of me having your best interest in mind, of actually spending some money on a GPT so you can learn about what an MLM is and what are the downfalls? What's an AI agent? How do I improve? How can I use that for my leverage? And I don't benefit from that. I don't own OpenAI stock. I don't own Google stock. So when I tell you guys this stuff, this is just for you. I could also tell you, buy my $7,000 course. Unfortunately, I don't have one and I haven't made one, but I should make one and say, you know what? If you're that if you're that broke, you should buy my $7,000 course and then just have few YouTube videos showing down the road. But this is not what I want to do in my content. This is not what I want to do. It's not what I'm passionate about. I'm just here giving you kind of the street view advice of what I'm doing and how my journey's been going, so you can learn something and kind of replicate it or take the best piece out of it, kick the others to the curb and say, this doesn't work for me, but this does. And all of a sudden, you're off to the races. Because I moved here 10 years ago and I feel like I had this American success story. I feel like I'm living the American dream. It's still alive, but it doesn't come easy. So I'm going to show you another video of a creator that had a book, that had a book signing or a book event, and nobody showed up. And this was me a few years ago. This was exactly me, not having no customers, not having any clients, going into rooms, trying to sell something, trying to pitch stuff, and just ending it horribly. So let's watch this video. And absolutely no hate to her, all love. She's gotta figure it out, and she will figure it out. And this is where everybody was when they start their entrepreneurship journey.
So today was my first official release of my book, and I made a community event, and I put a lot of time and effort. That's my daughter. I put a lot of time and effort into it, and unfortunately, no one showed up. But that's okay because next time they will, and I'll have a bigger crowd. But my name is Carmen. I'm 27 years old, and I am a mom of four. I have bipolar disorder, ADHD, and I am the author of Moody Puffs. And just like my book teaches, just because today is a stormy one doesn't mean tomorrow won't be better. Bye.
This is what happens to so many people. They put in so much time, so much effort. Nobody shows up. Nobody buys the product. Nobody does it. I've been there. And this is what it takes to become successful. You fail, you get kicked in the jaw, you lose some teeth, you go to the dentist, you get them repaired, and then it is redo. It is redo. It is sparring. It is going into the fight against Floyd Money Mayweather. And you have nothing. You literally have nothing. And what's going to happen to you is endurance. You're going to keep going. You're going to keep getting knocked down and you're going to tweak certain things. And all of a sudden you see, oh, this fits a little bit. And this kind of works a little bit. And then this kind of works a little bit. And all of a sudden you got this winning formula for you. And it's starting to work for you, the whole recipe. And Gordon Ramsay didn't start off overnight. No, he also had to fight. And so when I'm talking about recipe, you perfect it over time. You start at the bottom and you fight your way to the top. You fail 1,000 times, like Thomas Edison. He had 10,000 light bulbs and he knows how 10,000 how to not do it, but he changed the world. And so can you, but you got to start thinking in a different mindset and start not thinking that everybody's out to get you. You got to start thinking about how do I utilize my network? How do I connect with people? How do I do something that AI can't replicate? How can I become better? What are these people doing that makes them successful? It's probably not waking up at 4 in the morning and hitting the gym or something, unless you want to be a bodybuilder. But what are these people doing? And what do these people have that I don't, that gets them to be successful, that gets them to be making 6, 7 figures? And just me having people on YouTube saying that, oh, these people are super successful, they have no debt. Most people have some sort of debt. They have a car lease, they have a property, a mortgage, they have leverage on their stocks or something. And this is why I'm not a big fan of Dave Ramsey, because you can utilize mortgages. When he talks about you should only have a 15-year mortgage, and you're looking at today and you waited since then. If I would have taken Dave Ramsey's advice, I wouldn't be living in my house because I couldn't afford it back then when I bought in 2020, and I couldn't afford it now with a 15-year mortgage at 5.5%. So you need to take advice. You need to take people's advice, tweak it to your own liking, and this is why I'm constantly telling you about AI. Take the advice, do AI, and then make a blend of it and say, you know what? This is it. It's almost like you guys take a recipe book, slap it open, and say, I'm going to do lasagna, but I don't like pork meat, but it's asking for pork meat. So I'm still going to do it. And then you're going to say, I hate lasagna. No, that's not the case. Then switch it out, do something else. Then if you don't like pork, then put in lamb or put in veal or put in anything else. So you like it, change it a little bit so the formula fits for you. But when I make content and people like that, it just kind of hurts my heart a little bit. But then I say, yeah, of course they're not successful. Because when I see these comments, I'm like, yeah, no successful person that I've ever met that's more successful is jealous of me. I've never seen that. The only people that I've been that been jealous has been older people and said, I should have taken more chances and I should have done more stuff. But now I'm okay with where I'm at. And so let this be a lesson. Life is short. Take the chances, take the risk, and make sure that you don't leverage to yourself to something you know nothing about. Only leverage yourself in the ways how you know how it's going to end up great. And take a chance on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. And yeah, hopefully this kind of helps you out understand where I'm coming from. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so envy of Rico. I'm so envy. I was like, what? Of my Rubicon Jeep? It's Jasmine, by the way. So Allie likes this color a lot. So this is why we kind of got her. And yeah, she gets 20 miles per gallon. So most of the time I drive it electric. So when she's in electric mode and I go around town here, I putz around town, she's purely on electric mode. But then when I take her on the freeway and she can do less than 20 miles a gallon, she gets, what does she get? Probably about 17. But yeah, I can take her in any kind of situation. She's been pretty reliable, not as my other Jeep. So yeah, you're envy of my little Jeep. I can be okay with that. But hey, anybody can get one. And it's not like I did anything special to her. She's just like she was when I got it from the dealer. She wasn't even off the showroom floor. She sat outside for a year, 2024 model. And I got like an insane amount of money off. I think I got like 15, 16, $17,000 off of her because it was the last year's model. They're trying to close them out. So find good deals and you could do it too. You just got to find, and then all of a sudden, you got to be open to it. But yeah, this is it. This is my life. And yeah, if you want one like this, you just have to make calls and see what you do. Because I also went to a dealership and had a similar one. And then they told me, like, oh, we're going to give you so much off. And they'd already had 4,000 miles on it. They kind of did a bait and switch. And then I said, you know what? This is not it. And then I went to this one. I wasn't stuck up on the colors or anything. I was just stuck up on the money part. So I just needed a good deal. And that's it. And you can do it too. Just put in the time, put in the work, and no need to be jealous. If you haven't, please like and subscribe.